Time for more Final Fantasy and Magic Gathering Easter eggs, and today we're going to look at the baddest summoning girl to ever do it, Shiva. Now, it's very clear from the way that they decided to make Shiva a saga of a summon that they're being inspired by Final Fantasy X, which makes sense because this is clearly the Final Fantasy X design of Shiva. But this idea that you gain lore counters and then eventually sacrifice, it's a creature that's fighting through battle until the big ability goes off. That is very much so the Final Fantasy X methodology, which again makes sense when you're dealing with Shiva's Final Fantasy X design, which is, in my opinion, the most iconic Shiva. She's just such a bad bitch. Let's just be honest. Her main ability is Heavenly Strike. Tap target creature an opponent controls, put a stun counter on it. This is because in Final Fantasy X, Shiva has the unique ability she can use turn by turn, Heavenly Strike. And what that does is it deals damage, but it also inflicts the Threaten status. Threaten in Final Fantasy X makes it so that a character who gets inflicted by it cannot act or counterattack until the turn comes back around of the person who inflicted it on them. In this case, Shiva's turn is active, she hits them, inflicts Threaten, they're tapped, so they can't act. There's a stun counter, so they don't untap on their next turn, so they can't defend as a blocker until coming back around, so it's a beautiful way of inflicting Threaten in Magic the Gathering terms. Love it. Then, of course, there's Diamond Dust. Draw a card for each tapped creature your opponents control. This is the idea that Diamond Dust is this big board-wiping ice magic attack, but instead of doing it as a big board wipe or big board lockdown, which would be really too strong on a creature, it's this idea of like you've been threatening your opponent all this time, and now you're capitalizing off of it. So it's more of a synergy of abilities thing. Again, beautiful way of looking at it. She's a 4/5, which makes perfect sense because the fact that even though Shiva starts with higher attack than she does defense as a summon, across her growth at her far end, she has higher defense than attack. And she always has higher magic defense than magic attack. So again, absolutely the way she should do it. She should be tougher than she is strong. And here's the real cute shit. Shiva costs 5 mana. Now, she's the 4th summon you get and the 4th temple you go to, sure. But you get her in Macalania Temple. And if you want to do all of the stuff through Macalania Temple and get the extra bonus item in the dungeon, because there's one in every Final Fantasy X temple, to get the Destruction Sphere and go through that, you deal with 1 Glyph Sphere, 3 Macalania Spheres, and 1 Destruction Sphere. 5 spheres. 5 mana. You can even point out that, as I said, it's 3 Macalania Spheres, 1 Glyph Sphere, and 1 Destruction. Coincidence? Maybe. Dope? Absolutely. I'm excited to see all of the summon mechanics as far as the new set. I'm excited to see which other summons made it in. I have to feel Bahamut's going to make it. I have to feel Ifrit's going to make it. I hope my boy Rama makes it. But tell me, which summons do you want to see? What card do you think I'm doing tomorrow? And until tomorrow, I'll catch you later, y'all.